Later this morning, the House is going to vote on the Obamacare subsidy extension. Join us now, Texas Republican Congressman Jody Arrington. He's also the chair of the Budget Committee. And I hesitate to call you a short timer, but we're going to miss you, Mr. Chairman. Do we know where you are? Is it decided what you're doing yet when you leave?
No, Joe. I've got what I hope will be Reconciliation 2.0 and continuing to advance the safer, stronger, more prosperous America First policies and that agenda. I'm truly focused on the job. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but it's been a great run. It's been an honor to serve, but I don't believe in, this job being a career, just temporary stewardship. Go back to West Texas and live under the rules and laws that we passed.
Yep. Very good. Just wondered if you had any knowledge of what was next, but you do have a lot left to do. And today there's something going on. What's going to happen today? Should these subsidies that were, they could have extended, they could have made them permanent the first time around. Democrats, they didn't do that. Should they be made permanent or extended at this point?
Absolutely not. You were right. When the Democrats had total control and created this additional layer of Obamacare subsidies, they designed them to expire after COVID. In fact, they made the Green New Deal tax subsidies permanent, so they had a choice, but they made these expire. And they are fraught with fraud and waste. According to watchdog groups, tens of billions in fraud and millions of people who are on the program ineligibly. And we're also subsidizing people making hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, my job now is to convince my colleagues, sadly, some Republicans, to not throw good money after bad, not just because of this wasteful subsidy program, but the underlying law, the Obamacare, which has made health care anything but affordable, and it's being propped up by these subsidies. We need to address affordability in health care, no doubt. We know how to do it. We should do it in reconciliation, but we should start by stop throwing good money after bad, as I mentioned.
Well, that's the key, whether you can actually get something done in reconciliation. And we got the greatest system in the world, obviously, Mr. Chairman, but people got to get elected to govern. And there's times these may be horrible, these subsidies, and it may not be the answer, and there's better ways of doing it, but they are, when it's not fraudulent, there are real people that are going to be affected when these things go up, and they're going to vote. And it's already the first midterm after an election, and the party that wins everything usually loses a lot. So the realities are this could be setting up for a scary November for Republicans.
Joe, here's the thing. Trump models this better than anybody. You do the right thing and the people will reward you for it. And they will reward you for it because when you do the right thing, the economy and our families and our country get a positive response. We've got almost a year. We shouldn't go into prevent defense in the third quarter. That's a losing strategy. Again, we know the policies that will work for our country and the American people. We're seeing the policies that were embedded in the big, beautiful bill already yield positive results. Our economy's growing. Interest in the long term and short term is coming down. More money in people's pockets because wages are outpacing inflation for the first time in several years. So, look, we should not be about over-calculating and over-gaming the midterm elections. We should focus on the policies that will make life better, because that's the fundamental question going into November. Is life better? Is the economy stronger? Are they keeping more money in their pockets? Are prices coming down? Do they feel safer? And I think we have more work to do, and we have the most consequential tool in the toolbox in budget reconciliation to do that. It would be a travesty to leave that in the toolbox and to try to coast into November. I'm not saying be cavalier. I'm saying do what we know would work. By the way, the bill that we passed before the break was an all-Republican bill on health care. CBO, Nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, said it would bring premiums down by 11% and save taxpayers $30 billion. That's one of many reforms that we could put in play to help our country.
the sad news about the congressman the other day passing away suddenly, that narrows the margin that Speaker Johnson has at this point. And I think you started off the interview saying we need to convince some members of our own party not to take the bait. And I don't know, they might be in purple, so whatever it is, they may be in districts that maybe didn't vote for the president as strongly. What can you really hope to do to address people's concerns about health care? Can you pass something in reconciliation that would do that? Because that's the big rap you keep hearing. Republicans keep talking about how bad Obamacare is, but they never have anything to replace it with.
And that's a fair comment. What do we replace it with? We can't use rhetoric to just oppose something that we know has doubled premiums and deductibles with Obamacare and these additional COVID subsidies. What's our solution? We have it. We know that fundamentally about 80% of premium increases are the structural problems in Obamacare. We have several fixes, including the cost-sharing reduction provision that it was in the all-Republican bill we passed that reduced premiums by 11%. We know there's waste, fraud, and abuse. There's more of that to go after. Certainly, I think the American people are awake to that. We can make the private sector insurance market more competitive, offer more affordable products, and then we can look at the systemic problems, the anti-competitive behavior because of perverse incentives that have created basically big medicine monopolies in pharma, in hospitals, in insurance companies. So we need more competition. As what Reagan said, the government isn't the solution. Government's the problem in healthcare. We need competition, innovation, et cetera.